morning. I saw your RT microphone out there. Splendid isolation. Absolutely. But just first of all say that I'm very happy to be here. I think it's important, given the range of issues that have been facing Europe over the last year, that we have been in a position to take time out to exclusively focus on the competitiveness agenda, because Europe has challenges in terms of the competitors around big industries like technology, pharmaceutical, and in our view that what is key is that we can take some key issues from this meeting to the March Council, and then we take it forward in our presidency. So issues like the Savings and Investment Union are a very live topic now in terms of both encouraging greater retail investment, in terms of creating venture capital for small to medium-sized industries, that they would be in a position to grow stronger and scale up, and also other legislation around enabling SMEs to start up across Europe much more seamlessly and quickly would add to competitiveness. The other area that Ireland's particularly focused on is the Horizon programme, investment in research and development. The Horizon programme, investment in research and development and human capital, which we think really underpins competitiveness, has been successful in Ireland, and we think we can do more across the European Union in terms of that Horizon and the research and development agenda. Expanding the single market in quite a number of areas, particularly in services, is an area we want to see more of. And we would align with a lot of what the Commission is proposing and a lot of what is in the President of the Commission, Ursula von der Leyen's letter to this Council. And frankly, working with others, we believe there's an opportunity now to bring clarity to the competitiveness agenda so that we can grow jobs and maintain Europe's position globally.
Taoiseach, what do you make of the signals from the Commission that enhanced cooperation will be a more important way of delivering on some of these objectives? And would you have concerns that this might disadvantage Ireland, that if Ireland is not part of a first tier of countries that are moving forward, say, for example, on the Savings and Investments Union?
Well, our position on the savings and investment is more positive now. Obviously, there are issues around the harmonisation of supervision, and from our perspective, we support a more harmonised approach. But that said, we're largely in favour of securitisation. We're largely in favour of other aspects of the Savings and Investment Union. So we've been positive and progressive in that. But the point is, enhanced cooperation. We saw evidence of that last Christmas in terms of the Ukrainian loan, and we do see the necessity in terms of delivery and getting proposals through the Council. So we're not necessarily fearful of that. But again, a lot depends on the specifics of it. There's a journey to go in relation to this. Fundamentally, Ireland believes in a more competitive Europe, a more expanded single market, a deeper savings and investment union ultimately benefits Ireland as well. And we've benefited enormously from the single market, so we've nothing to fear from enhanced cooperation.
There was a meeting of a few EU leaders before this summit. Were you invited to that, and if not, why not? And second, Ireland's red lines on things like financial supervision, on Mercosur, and on the idea of these made in Europe clauses, does that kind of distance you or cause any friction between you and your EU partners?
Well, first of all, in terms of, I wouldn't use the term red lines in terms of financial or in terms of the savings and investment and bringing it to a conclusion. We would have concerns around the European preference, but I take some solace from what President Costa has said in terms of the application and utilisation of that. We understand the issue in terms of the need for industrial resilience within Europe, but at the same time, trade deals all over the world with India are counter to that, and a more protectionist approach within Europe. So I think there's a balance to be struck here. Certainly we need more self-reliance in core areas to reduce risk and in terms of over-dependencies, but we must protect the open free trade ethos of the European Union, in my view, and so there will be debates around that, and I think that whole European preference issue is one that we need to explore far more deeply, and that's an issue that I certainly will be articulating on. No, we weren't invited at the meeting this morning because it's a big long day of summit today. I don't get the necessity for that, but anyway, we do host pre-meetings ourselves at different summits. But today, to be fair to President Costa and President Bombshells, it's his day, and he was very anxious to have a full day here to discuss competition within Europe, or competitiveness within Europe, and I think it's a positive development. Thank you indeed. Yeah. We put the hands up when we said we're willing to progress this issue, because the broader issue of European competitiveness is at stake here. There are positives here as well for particularly Irish SMEs potentially in a stronger savings and investment union. So obviously a lot of work to be done yet, and we will do further work at home on this. But in my view, we have always benefited from a European single market. It's probably one of the most transformative decisions for the Irish economy and for the European economy. And we shouldn't lose sight of that the impact of originally when we brought in the single market was very, very positive for Ireland. And as a small open trading economy, I think we have to focus in on that. Also, the whole area of availability of capital for entrepreneurs and for SMEs in Europe is a very serious issue. I mean, many of our own SMEs pivot. Obviously, we do well in terms of US venture capital. We have some of our own venture capital through Enterprise Ireland funds, but you know, in the overall scale of things, that's limited enough. So I think we would benefit from certain aspects of what's on the table in respect of the Savings Investment Union. There are concerns around central supervision, and we would have